Okay, today we're going to take the triple tree out, so we'll get started on that. So here we go. Okay, that kind of gets that out of the way. Now we gotta just disconnect, cut a couple of straps down here. All off. Perfect. Okay, so now we just basically need to pull that big nut, which it's either 29 or 30. 30 it is. Okay. The big adapter to the 1/2 inch, so that's a 30 mil. Now I get on the other side. There we go. Okay, now we can just lay this aside. Like that. Ignition. Okay, so now there's a collar on here that you're supposed to get a special tool for, but I'm not into special tools. So we should be able to gently tap it loose. It's kind of a, I'll show you when I get it off, it's a spanner collar. Like that. Wow. No special tools. Okay, I'm going to grab it underneath because I know when I take this off, I'll come show this to you. This is going to drop right out. One thing I noticed when I was just playing with this the other day when I was finishing up the forks and I was turning the steering column back and forth, I noticed that it was smooth, but just as you came to the center of the steering, there was just a little indent. So I've ordered a set of bearings. Okay, and you can see it, the nut, and then out comes like that. So there's the tree, bearing, bottom race, and the dust seal. There's the bolt that was holding the brake lines on. So let's just see if we can see. I mean, usually when those little indents, they're so light, it doesn't feel bad. That's sure a different bearing than the BMW. Lots of grease on it. Okay, let's get this, set this down. Let's get a light in there, can't see. Oh yeah, you can see. You can see a little bit of, I forget what they call it, but it's where the bearing wears on the race. You can just see a little bit in there. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to pull that out. There's a dust seal, and then there's a upper race like that, the bearing. Well, let's just, I'll lay this all out on the floor, and then I'll move the camera. Okay, zoom that in so you can see the lock collar, dust seal, outer race, bearing, and then the inner race. See if that'll, gonna focus. Too close. There's that race, and then the bottom one, well, kind of a pain getting to it. So now, let's see if we can get that in there so we have something to look at. We got to get that race out of there. Okay, to drive out the bottom bearing, I've made a little tool here, which is just an angle iron, rebar, grounded out so it fits around a collar, and then I can hook the top of the race. Or you go down to Honda and spend a lot of money. Okay. There's the race. So there's the raceway. So right in the collar, or the raceway, you have those little tiny spots where, where are we? Let's get the right bearing. Where the bearing sits on there, and it just makes these, yeah, you can just feel them. They're just a little bit. Okay, that's just, now I get the top bearing out, so I'm just gonna, so I don't forget how this all goes together, I'm just gonna do this for my own. So again, there's the tool, just cut it out a little bit so it can hook in there. Simple. Grease. Okay. Now, this one, just going to be a little more difficult. There's my light. Okay, well, I think I wasn't recording. So, you've seen the tool I jury rigged up to do the bottom race. Top race, I took a 29mm socket, ground it down with my grinder so that it would fit up through the collar on the bottom, and when it get up to the top, it was just big enough to catch the top race and drive it up out of the stem. Okay, what I'm going to do, this is the only way it is to do, get this bottom race off. I'm going to heat it up. There we are. Ooh, we got one little nick there I gotta clean up. Oh, that always makes such a mess. That's that. Okay, don't need that, don't need that. Okay, let's call it. That's a day.